So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly behind the scenes of what I tell 6 to 7 to 8 figure entrepreneurs and online coaches so they can fix their content, their sales, their systems, their operations inside their business so they can grow and they can go through any obstacles that they're going through. This is a week's worth of one-on-one calls that I have with my clients every single week. And I've been doing this for a couple of years to the point that now my clients have made over $20 million in revenue. So I'm excited to show you what a week looks like me helping my clients. So in this first clip, I was talking to a client because she's posting testimonials and she's afraid that these testimonials, as usual, they don't get a lot of reach or attention. So this is the strategy I give my clients on how to post testimonials so that they can accomplish both reach, authority, and also they're not lame to watch or just, egocentric of this is exactly what I did and why I'm the best. So if you're doing any sort of carousels right now of, case studies or anything, this is the way I would do it if I were you. Whenever you're doing testimonials, I feel like 95% of people do it wrong because this is going to sound backwards. They focus too much on your client. But at the end of the day, like nobody cares. Like nobody gives a fuck who they are. So the way we make the most out of it is how can we turn this piece of content so that it answers the question of like what's in it for me. The way we do this, instead of thinking about it as a testimonial, we think about it as a case study and what you did to help her, get into remission, which is awesome, right? So the way I would do this is how I helped this mom of 3 get into remission after 90 days, whatever. How I did this to help this person get this big result. So first slide is hook, second slide is hook with social proof sayings, for example. After helping, you can say her name, and helping number of women or number of clients or number of whatever, so like give me more social proof. I recognize that, most women who are trying to achieve X are doing these mistakes. I've seen it over this many years. So you can talk about yourself there, but you want to hook people in as well. And then the third slide, fourth slide, you just tell me exactly what you did. Okay. So if, but give me more context too so I can help you try to. This next clip is about trial reels. I was helping a client repurpose a lot of his content. One, how to put it in trial reels so it doesn't get throttled. And the other thing is how to come up with way better hooks and how to go about that. What we're doing with this video, we already have one video, but we're going to do 3 iterations. Are those clear? Like any questions on those or was that clear?
No, I totally understand what you're looking for.
So we're basically A/B/C testing the headline, and
yeah.
On those 2 videos on trial reels, we're gonna have 2 different songs that are trending, one volume level each. So that's fine. Now for the caption here, bro. So the caption that you have on the original one, I want to say like the third hook. So the first hook is what they see. The second hook is what you say. The third hook even would be kind of like that, because when you're scrolling through reels, that's the first line that they see. Just having ladies here, we're losing a lot of real estate. So instead of saying ladies, I would do one iteration of the headline. So I would say worst glute growth mistakes ... and then or even an emoji pointing down. You're just enforcing the hook. And I would do the change for all 3. So all 3 have the same kind of like second hook or third hook, whatever I said. So instead of saying ladies, just say worst glute growth mistakes ... I think everything else is fine. The thing that I would change on your trial reels, after the hook that you're going to say, wanna grow your glutes, ? Don't do these. Could be those 2, it doesn't matter. On your trial reel here, I want you to add a call to action. Very simple. If you want more exercise tips, follow at, and then just put your name. Right. So hook, in parentheses, if you want more exercise tips, follow at your handle.
And that's gonna be at the top?
Yeah. Literally at the top.
Okay. So right after that third hook,
yep.
Like the start, and then, okay, gotcha.
Exactly. So third hook, call to action, and then everything else after this, I mean, it's fine. Let me read this real quick. I know SEO here, bro. Like I would say, if you want your glutes to actually change, you need the 3 big lifts: squats, RDLs, hip thrusts, split squats. I said 3. I don't know why I said 3. You need the big lifts. I'm so gym, bro. I'm used to like the 3 squat.
Yeah.
Movements where yeah, bro. Literally, I would delete that. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Typo right there. Again, here I would do follow at your handle for lower body strength that actually builds muscle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Then that's what I would do. My client's content was getting massively better, getting literally thousands of leads every single week. Now we had to train and hire setters. The problem is a lot of businesses don't understand that. For hiring, you actually need a hiring funnel. So in this very short clip, I just walk through a little bit of the specifics of hiring funnels and what the mindset has to be when it comes to hiring and getting to the next level. I'm just gonna give you their applications. I have everyone create a Loom video. I have everyone create like what's your expertise, experience, etc. It's a guy from my network that I know from a previous client of mine that I helped scale that trains sellers. And again, so that's what we have to do. Like we have to up our up our standard of like that's what we have to do. So I'm gonna do everything on my part to make sure we get more applications because this is a position that needs to get filled and we have to have a hiring funnel. So that's what I did for you guys. So I'm gonna show you that very quickly. I wanna make some improvements on the booking call flow, which basically means people in the DMs, you manually book them, what happens between that manual booking process and them having a call. So I'm gonna show you what changes are gonna be beneficial for you guys, and you just have to make sure you're undeniable. Period.
Yeah.
There's a lot of specifics about hiring funnels, all that stuff, but I think that's kind of boring for this video. So in this next clip, I want to change it up a little bit. Something that I do every week, or at least force myself to do every week, is something that we do, which is just a Bible study. In this specific scenario, I wanted to record the question that's being deep in my heart, and I don't have the answer to this, but it's a time and place for me to be a little bit more vulnerable and share with my brothers what's going on, and also getting closer to God and the Word. So hopefully you enjoy this part. I actually wanna read from, because my Bible has notes. So I want to read what it says because 3:1-4 says, David was faced with enemies who mocked him, saying that there was no hope for him. He didn't believe them. Instead, he called out to God for help. We may encounter those who say there's no hope for us. We must not listen to them. Rather, we should follow David's example and call out to God for help. Very simple. I find that to be hard, to be honest, man. I want honesty, bro. Yeah, it's what we all hear this many times, and I think we find ourselves to just either, lack of a better word, accept it, but we just say it because everyone says it. So for example, one of the things that I was chatting with ChatGPT back and forth is like, what does it actually mean to hand it over to God? Like, what does that mean? Yeah, we have a problem or we have something that we're going through. I was like, why do people say that? Just hand it over to God. But what does that actually mean? So that's why I find it difficult, is because, we all find ourselves, we all are human. We all have problems. We all have obstacles, difficulties, etc. So what does it mean to actually call out to God for help? Like, what does that actually mean in practice? So sometimes I have like these thoughts and this of like, what do I actually need to do in order for me to be a good Christian and a good follower of Christ, to ask God for help? What does that look like? I just thought I'd share it. I don't have the answer for this. I just thought like, sometimes I have that.
I think the answer is really simple, bro. It's put yourself in an area where you can't do anything other than call for God.
How to grab my favorite cheesecake on earth. This next clip is about imposter syndrome. If you're watching this, chances are you're a coach, and more than likely you've suffered with some imposter syndrome because you're afraid that whatever you post isn't smart enough. In this scenario, I talked with my client about this and how we overcame that objection of, I don't want to post this because I think it's kind of stupid for the clientele that I'm trying to work with. So check out this next clip.
Using my hands, and she's been doing that.
There are a couple of reasons why I asked you for context. One, somebody that doesn't know who you are, sees you real, is going to have the same question, but they're not going to ask you, they're just going to scroll away. We need to have some sort of context prior to it. The second reason why I asked you for context was because 90% of the times, coaches they're so smart that they miss like 99% of the things that they do with clients that sound incredible. And those are the things that we really need to speak about. Again, you are at a level 10 knowledge level. We're speaking to people at knowledge level 2, 3, 4. Her goal is to live to 100 years. That for me right there is like, I'm gonna stop the scroll. It's like, what's your plan? Here's what I'm doing to help my client live to be 100 years old. It's what you're doing. You're journaling the content. You're showing what you're doing rather than just saying, here's my client doing some squats after surgery. It's gonna sound bad, but nobody gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So in this case, it's like, how can we turn this into a what's in it for me type of content? I think it'd be cool to see how you are going to structure her, I guess her life around her goal. I like the how I am rather than how you could do X, Y, Z. I'm seeing now with other clients, journalistic type of content is doing better as far as like connection level content. So like, here's how I'm doing this. So if it's not something that's gonna catch my attention instantly, again, I'm just gonna scroll away.
She's gonna be starting, and then I have a couple that actually wants to start as well. They're going to be paying our new prices and all the things.
The new pricing and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Let's fucking go. Right now we're seeing people use more ChatGPT than Google. Like it's a whole thing, right? And then the game right now in online coaching is won by winning trust as fast as possible. The problem right now with what I'm seeing in the industry are trying to sell very quickly when people are in like a level 1. And as soon as somebody comments something, it's like, hey, buy my stuff, here's my coaching. And a lot of people are trying to cram a lot of sales in this like very small sliver of trust. And a lot of people are just losing the sale, obviously, because like there's no trust. And just like you, there's a billion different people that I can just look for information. Now, the thing with content and the thing with showing up and the thing with posting different types of content, which is going to be informational, trust, and sales, is our goal is to make sure as soon as somebody jumps into your ecosystem, we can jump them from a level 0 to a level maybe 4 to 8 as quick as possible. The only thing and the only way that this can actually happen, this is gonna sound very obvious, is you just have to be top of mind. You just have to keep showing up. You have to show up as you are, as who you are, not just with education, because again, information is everywhere, but you have to show up with different types of content that helps people connect with you in a deeper level, because all that matters right now is that people trust you so that they can jump on a call with you and so that they trust you enough for you to solve the problem that they're going through right now. And the only way we get people to be in here is just being top of mind. What I'm seeing is we might get a good post, but we lose the momentum. Super fucking random. Like super random, but I got a good handful of comments. The thing is at the speed. So if you look at Instagram, YouTube, etc., the half-life of a short form like Instagram or TikTok
clip, I talked to my client about AI and how it's actually disrupting the online fitness space specifically. The entire coaching space is being disrupted. But in her case, for fitness, I talked to her about content, what she needs to do. And if you're an online coach and you're afraid of AI, I would highly watch this next clip with my client.
It's like 18 hours. It's ridiculous. Like you post in 18 hours, people are gonna forget you post about it. Like, and worse with stories, 24 hours. Like, what was the last story you saw on your Instagram? Like, I don't fucking know. Like, it's so fast. So it then again plays this role of like, if somebody comes into my ecosystem, I have to bombard them with trust. I have to stay top of mind. I have to engage, and it's this game we have to play. I mean, it's just how business is. With YouTube, it's different. The half-life of YouTube is, I think it's like 7 days, which is pretty good. It's long form. We want to show people that you're good at what you do, but we also want to show people who you are. And I think that's so important. That's why I think sharing your story is so fucking powerful, because especially you like helping more women than guys. Like women connect way more than guys connect, So like a girl is gonna come into your ecosystem. She's gonna see your story. She's gonna relate. You went through the same pains and problems she's having right now. But then you also show through stories and testimonials and educational content that you know what you're talking about. It's gonna help you achieve this much faster. Unfortunately, and I'm seeing this with myself and other clients, more and more people are doing like the raw talking head, and it's getting a bit saturated. And the only way for you to really stand out here is if you're really good at storytelling, which is a harder skill to have. I know you're leaving tomorrow and all this stuff, so that's my challenge to you. Okay?
Setting might be the most cliche thing out there, especially in the woo-woo world or whatever. But it's arguably one of the things that 99% of people do wrong, and the reason why a lot of people think it's cliche and it doesn't work. So on Friday, I did an exercise that I stole from Tony Robbins' mentor. And hopefully you can find some value into this and actually use it and see how you kind of rank in between the goals that you have for yourself.
His name's Jim Rohn, if I'm not wrong. He was Tony Robbins' mentor. So obviously, if you know Tony Robbins, like you want to go to like the next level of like who coached him, etc. So either way, as I'm reading, I'm in chapter 3, and I have it bookmarked here. I think it's a great exercise for you to do as well. It essentially says, you gotta have long range goals, he calls them. And I spent the majority of the morning writing all of them down. So essentially, he says, write, what do I want within the next 1 to 10 years? And he just says, allow your mind to free flow. It doesn't really matter. Like, I literally just had my headphones on, put music, and I just started writing. And he says, don't go too much into detail. Like, legitimately just write bullet points. And I wrote 16 total goals. After you have completed your list, review what you've written, and then next to it, write a number from 1 to 10. Not just like in importance, but next to the items, you think you'll reach in a year, write 1. If you think you'll reach those in 5 years, write 5, 10, 10. Just go through all of them. And I think it's a great exercise. And then he says, now that you've reviewed your list, choose 4. I don't have enough. Choose the 4 goals from each of the 4 time categories. So 1, 3, 5, and 10. I don't have any 10-year goals. I couldn't think that far. And he says that's fine. Write a detailed description of what you want. For example, if it's a material object, describe how high, how long, how much, what model, what color, and so on. On the other hand, if it's a position or a business or an entrepreneur thing you want to do, give a detailed job description, salary, title, budget, everything, number of employees, all these things. Be as detailed as possible. Number 2, write the reason why. Why do you want to achieve these things? Why do you want to acquire the item that you described here? Find out what you really want. And here's the thing. As you go through the why, you're going to have to think really about why you want this. And it took me a couple hours to do this exercise, but I think it's great to do it. Put it on a sheet of paper. And he then finishes this chapter or starts the next chapter with something that really stuck out to me, and that's the reason why I did this entire thing. He says that even the Bible says, without dreams and visions, people perish. This is Proverbs 29:18, and I highly encourage you to do the same. But I urge you to do it. Took my entire morning this Friday to do it, and I think it's a great exercise. It makes you think.
Close this off on Sundays. I do an exercise to make sure I plan out my week. It's not actually planning. I do a little bit different, but I love a quote that says, you don't start your week until you finish it. Meaning you don't want to go into Monday not knowing what you're going to do that week. So here's what I do on Sunday. Sometimes I went to a rabbit hole, but hopefully you enjoy it.
So like it's Sunday right now, and it's pretty quiet. Obviously no messages on Slack or anything, but one of the things that really happens to me at the end of the month, at the end of the week, that I feel very overwhelmed by a lot of things that I want to do and I want to get done. If I don't pull out just a piece of paper, legitimately, the thing that I wrote here was things that need to get done. If I don't just put it on paper, then I'm going to start opening I'm going to show you, a bunch of different tabs of a lot of different shit. I have Claude open, Gemini open, Google Drive. Things just start piling up. Like I'm working on something and then it's like, okay, oh, it'd be cool if I do this, and then I open a new tab and start working on something else. Other things, and I go through a rabbit hole of like, okay, cool, what did this person do differently? Because I'm always kind of studying and trying to do things, and so that I can be at the top of my game and always, with the mindset of I want to help my clients. All in all, just to say, like, Sundays, I just sit down, write down what needs to get done. And that gives me like a clearer view of being focused on realistically what's going to move the needle forward versus anything else. Like, whatever is not a revenue generating activity, I just have to delete. No more education of like, okay, I'm just gonna watch the YouTube video. No, like none of that shit matters right now. What matters right now is, which is the thing that matters the most for a lot of clients, is get your fucking content out there. Make sure your content's good. Make sure your content is based on research, desires, pains for your client. And just try different things in content that might work. People are less reluctant to hearing advice when it's your experience doing something versus you telling somebody to do something. So right now, a little tangent, it's just like I need to focus on content right now, get content done. Once that content's done, I then move to anything else that's not super high priority. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight of what I do Sundays. After coming from church, I have like all this mindset of holy shit, I just want to get a lot done. I want more work, I want more success, etc. But if you let yourself run off of ideas and a bunch of like stuff in your brain, like nothing gets done. Give yourself 5 minutes, write everything down, knock things out, and rank them 1 through 10 or 1 through whatever, revenue generating potential. For me, content, that's it. After that, anything else is extra. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of like an insight of what happens some days. Obviously I have coffee, just finished it. And yeah, let's get this shit done.
Close this off. In the description below, I'm going to drop a couple links, one of which, hopefully by the time you're watching this video, it's already done, is an AI that I'm giving away for every coach. If you're making more than 10K a month, you should definitely use this. It's like a consultant in your pocket. So everything you saw here, I put everything into this AI so that it can actually help you as if you're speaking to me one-on-one. It's pretty cool and it's free. And I'll drop all the links as well. But for now, if you're watching this, YouTube is extremely smart, and right now it's recommending a video that you should watch right now. And hopefully you enjoy that. And for now, I'll see you in the next one.